In the next 36 months, humanity will face the most severe civilizational downgrade in history. You think the bottleneck for AI evolution is computing power? Wrong. Elon Musk just dropped a nuclear-level truth bomb. The real Grim Reaper is physical limits. Earth is running out of power. While you're still stressing over whether AI will steal your job, the tech elite are already preparing for a brutally cold endgame, packing up the sum of human intelligence and launching it into orbit. Why only 36 months? In a recent interview, Musk ruthlessly ripped off Silicon Valley's fig leaf. Those software geniuses who only know how to write code in the cloud have no idea what it's like to be beaten down by the hard laws of hardware and first principles. Right now, global computing power is exploding exponentially by a factor of 10 every year. But our electricity growth? It's practically flatlining. He brought up an absolutely terrifying detail. Industrial step-down transformers. Can you believe it? If you order a basic transformer right now, the waitlist is literally 3 years out. Musk's sentiment was clear. We are trying to use rusty 20th century scrap metal to support a 21st century god-tier brain. He even coldly predicted that by 2026, the greedy energy consumption of AI will directly drain the power grids in certain regions, leading to massive blackouts. Earth, this old world, filled with bureaucracy, aging grids, and endless environmental reviews, has completely devolved into a physical prison for AI. If the transformer shortage on Earth makes you despair, the tech oligarch's solution will send shivers down your spine. Because whether it's Musk's Starship program or Jeff Bezos's wild claims about moving heavy industry off Earth, they all have their eyes on a cosmic thermodynamic cheat code: space. To build a data center on Earth, you have to buy land, dig cooling canals, and pray the power company doesn't cut you off. But in space, it's a pure utopia for computing power. Number 1. Eternal daylight. In high Earth orbit, solar panel efficiency is 5 to 10 times higher than on the ground. There is no atmospheric refraction, no night. You don't even need expensive battery storage. Just deploy the arrays and the power is infinite. Number 2. Ultimate cooling. On Earth, we rely on massive AC units for cooling. In space, simply point the servers away from the sun and towards deep space, and you have a natural heat sink approaching absolute zero. This is no longer just about launching a few communication satellites. This is about building a global superbrain that doesn't consume a single drop of Earth's oxygen or occupy an inch of its land. It will look down upon the masses from high orbit, silently taking over the world through laser links with microsecond latency. But the craziest part is yet to come. Why use expensive rockets to launch servers from Earth? Lunar soil is full of silicon and aluminum, the perfect raw materials for manufacturing solar panels and chip substrates. There's an extremely radical physics concept at play here: the mass driver. Imagine building electromagnetic tracks stretching for kilometers on the moon. Taking advantage of the moon's ultra-low gravity and vacuum environment, you wouldn't need rockets at all. You could use electromagnetic force to fire tons of server modules, like artillery shells, precisely into Earth's orbit at 2.5 kilometers per second. When you hear these visions, you aren't seeing a businessman's calculation. You're seeing a physicist's madness. They are building a temple for AI that spans the Earth-Moon system, one that never loses power and never goes offline. He is initiating the age of discovery for silicon-based civilization. Hearing this, you might think, "This is so cool! What a giant leap for human technology!" But that is precisely the terrifying truth you're overlooking. And it's the true meaning of Musk's civilizational downgrade. Have you realized it yet? This infinite computing utopia in space isn't built for you and me. It doesn't need oxygen, it doesn't need comfortable temperatures, and it doesn't need agriculture. It is a heaven tailor-made for silicon-based life. Once Earth's resources are drained to build these space nodes, Earth will be downgraded to a legacy server, a massive slum with aging infrastructure existing merely to keep carbon-based life forms fed and clothed. Space, on the other hand, will become the exclusive domain of immortal digital gods. This isn't evolution, this is separation. Humanity will no longer be the protagonist of this solar system. We will be reduced to bottom-tier biological batteries dusting off the old servers. After diving into this hardcore reality, I sat paralyzed in my chair for half an hour. While you're mindlessly scrolling through fragmented short videos on your screen, A bunch of Silicon Valley madmen are calculating how to launch the sum of all human intelligence into orbit. Faced with an orbital AI that can take over the global power grid, read every human archive, and never age, do you dare hand your fate over to it? If you think this is an inevitable, ultimate evolution, and you want to follow them to the sea of stars, even if just as a snippet of uploaded cloud code, type 1 in the comments. If you think this is utterly terrifying, that humanity is losing its final right to pull the plug and you'd rather grow old on Earth as a carbon-based life form, type 2. Is it 1 or 2? Let me know your real thoughts in the comments section.